Okay guys, we're going to start on the Vineyard pattern. When I dunk my brush in the water, what I'm doing is pounding it down and loading it up, making sure that it is fully loaded with water, and then just shake off the excess. I don't want to remove all the water. The reason is the water helps your paint to flow. Now I'm going to start off with Regency Purple 137 to do my grapes. And I like working in these little 2-ounce Dixie cups because it helps me to control my colors. Now this one's kind of thick. You can see there it doesn't flow very well. It's very thick. So before I do anything else, I'm going to use my brush to thin this down. So I'll dip it in the water and work up my color until it's drippy. Okay. Now I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this color to start off my grapes. Now all you have to do is set your brush down and twist into a circle. Again, and again, and again. You're just kind of visualizing a cluster of grapes at this point. I see. I may put on a few more here off to the side. Okay, that's enough of the Regency Purple. That's your light purple going to work for you there. Now I'm going to change over to my darker deep purple. In fact, I don't have very much left in here, so I'm just going to put it in there with it. Whoop, don't need much. It's kind of thick too, so there. So get it just thin enough that it's kind of like cream. Alright, now what I'm going to do, whoops, and put it over there. I can visualize where my grapes are. Now what I'm going to do is shade the bottoms. I like the idea that this one is on top and these are behind. So I'm just going to get this like a little half stroke there. Little half strokes. And there's one that's gone behind here, so I'll give it little half strokes. You'll see what I mean when you start doing your own. Okay, so that's all the Regency Purple I need. Now I might go back over on a couple of them just to deepen down the color a little bit. There we go. Okay, now what I'm getting ready to do is a light shading on the top of all my grapes. If I can get this lid off, I will. You can see I've been a bad girl with my paints. Now I used my medium brush so far to do all these colors. I'm going to switch now to my small one, and I can't even see what size this is. Well, it says it is aught. Okay, now I'm going to wet my brush, knock off the water, go after my paint, let's see, until it is fluid. Now what I'm going to do, is just add a little bit of pink to the tops of my grapes. But I'm letting my Regency show through the middles here. You just kind of have to visualize where your grapes are. Okay, and that's it on that. Next, I'm going to use this small one again and use my Rose 151. I think I forgot to mention in the beginning that I was going to be using Miami Pink, which is CC 108. I don't know how we missed that. And my Rose is just a spark of light. That's all. That's all it's going to be. So the Rose is going to be added, oh, kind of towards the bottom. Just a little. Yeah. Get me some water. Dip again. Towards the bottom of my purple there, my dark purple. And that's it. That's all. Now we're going to have to add our light. And you know that light, if you were holding up a cluster of grapes and the sun was shining straight down, it wouldn't hit the tops of every grape. It might hit the tops of the top grape, but as you go down, it'll be more like the centers. So that's what we're going to do. Just a little bit. Okay. All right. I know it's hard to see this in this light, especially, you know that underglazes don't reflect light, and so this is just a little bit hard to see. Let me see if an angle, yeah, I think an angle might be a little bit better there. So what we're going to do is add just a little sparkle light to the tops of these grapes, to the outsides here, and kind of down a little bit on these. As we go down, I'll hit the centers down here on these. Okay. Now I'm going to go back and go over each one of them. Kind of give them a second coat. I know you've been told all these stories. Just do it Judy's way. Okay. Okay. Now we're done with the grapes until we get down to the lining. So we're going to go straight into our leaves. I don't know if you can hear that. I've got this then down pretty good. This is my forest green. Let me get rid of this little brush. I am headed for the medium-sized brush again. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do, slop up my brush real good. I just don't want it to drip. That's all. Now, on our plate, we're going to start our leaf kind of like the top of a heart. Okay, so we've started like a little heart, only we're going to go out like this and back in. And you notice my brush strokes are leaving little points. Back in, like that. Okay, each time you go for paint, dip the tip of your brush in the water again. That's to keep your paint flowing. There. There's the beginning of your first leaf. Okay, now I'm going to do the second leaf. I'm going to come across the top here a little bit. Got to dip in my water again because my brush is starting to get kind of dry. And that's it. It looks weird. It looks ugly. But it will look fine when we get done. So I'm going to drop down here, do another one. Okay, I'm going to put one kind of sideways down here. And I think I'm going to overlap one down here at the bottom. Sorry about that. Alrighty. Okay, well, I dripped some of my green, but that's okay. I need a stem. That's all. Just a swoop. Just something to look like a stem. Okay, now we're going to go for our shading and our highlights. Okay. Okay, let me put this away and pull out the avocado. Now we're going to do we're going to do the same thing with our leaves that we did with our grapes. Our grapes are hanging this way, and it looks like light is hitting from about there. Same thing's going to happen with our leaves. So I'm going to start our shading with the avocado. It gives us a two-tone for our leaves. Okay. So, since the light's hitting the top, and this is our top, then I'm going to go across the top and kind of hit that side of our leaf. Okay, across the top of that side of the leaf. And kind of hit the middle of that one. I had a ridge there. Kind of hit the top part of this one, but I'm not following all the way through on it. Kind of hit the top part of that one, top part of this one. top part of this one. Whoops, my brush went dry. Catch about half of this one. And then I'll go back. Some of the spots that are starting to dry, just go ahead and grab those again. And that's it on the avocado. Okay, put this one away. Okay, now we're going to go into our medium green. And that's where we're going to get some excitement going here. This is where our light's hitting our leaf. And I'm going to go for the small brush instead of the medium to do this. Alright, so we know that light's going to be hitting right about there. Right along here. Maybe the top of our leaf, like as if it's curved, just right where the light would be hitting it. There, that's good enough right there. And gang, we're done. This is the paint job part of it. The rest of it, well, no, wait a minute, I'll do the red. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, I want you to notice that I got my paint, see, just barely dripping, no thinner than that. Now what I'm going to do is go in between and around my edge and stop when I come to a leaf. Catch my edge there. If I haven't taken it to the edge with my leaf, I do need some underglaze on the edge. Now you see, I'm not coming anywhere close to the green. I don't have to. It's going to look pretty without it. Spot down here that didn't get any. Okay. Now you see what I'm doing? Usually by the time I get back around with this first coat, where I started is already dry. So I just go ahead right on around and do my second coat. And then I usually have to wait until that second coat is dried, but I do need a good solid third coat of the red. And that, folks, is what the finished job is going to look like. It doesn't look like much now, but wait till we get into the black liner and you see what happens then.